Hi. So today I'm working on exhaust pipes. I bought this off of eBay. Pretty cheap. I think it was 70 bucks shipped to the house. It's a bunch of all different squigglies and, whatever. But I made up these two pipes already. Sorry, kind of got ahead of myself. I was welding and then I painted them. But anyway, here is the pipe for the passenger side. It's going to go in here like this. I wanted these to run above the frame, so that's why I had to do some crazy welding and stuff like that to get these in here. But and here's this side right here. Like I said, I had to do some welding and stuff. I'm sorry, I wish I would have took some shots before I painted these, but it was going to rain, so I hurried up and I got them all done best I could, But anyway, that's how that one goes in there. I will come back after I get them bolted up there, but this one here, I'm gonna have to make a heat shield. This original place for when a 4-cylinder was in here for the exhaust, but I have this hydraulic clutch I'm a little worried about, so I'm gonna have to make a heat shield to go between these through here. And then over here I do have a problem with, see, that's my speedometer right there, and it wants to come straight out at this thing. I'm gonna have to do a heat shield for this rubber grommet here for the transmission mount. But I'll be back when I get them on there. Oh, I did pick up these single chamber exhaust pipes, mufflers, I guess. So we're gonna fit those in there, but I'll be back once I get this bolted up and we start taking off for the mufflers. All right, so we got this all bolted in there. And over here, you can see my manifold was all shattered down there at the mounting, so I made that bracket. You could buy those. It's like a repair bracket, but I just made one. But anyway, there's all that in there. Comes back, travels down there, and that's where we want her to be. So we got both them in there. So now here we got this coming up here. This is one of them pre-made 45 on there from that box. Fits on right there. Okay, but we got to come up in an angle. I'm thinking maybe. And then we want to try to get over this pumpkin somehow. Maybe with that piece. Get over this, get up into the frame, the top. We don't want to be past this right there, but we want it for clearance for the rear end. The problem is this keeps getting higher right here. This is higher. So I already know I have to put I have to weld like a bumper on there so I don't smash my hoses or anything like that with this stop. But I do have this chunk, but it seems a little, I better be right on the money with that one. But the whole idea is to get the muffler in there. So we're gonna have to see, because here's the muffler. I tried to get a muffler that had the inlet over here on this side and not in the center. But, you know, obviously I couldn't find one if they make one, but the whole idea is to get this thing in under here somewhere, about right there. So that's what I mean. I'm gonna have to go up, over, back, down, and under. But this is cut up higher, right there. This does hump up a little bit, but not a lot. I'll be back. All right, here's where we are at. And before you ask, no, I didn't bang my head, which I thought it for a second. I was kind of overthinking this, but I kind of overthought it. But anyway, here's what we got. We got center of the pipe heading to this pipe. This line here, center of axle, right there. So that's as high as we can go. Okay, so we got the mufflers all in position. I got this board on here clamped in place. So that's where I want the mufflers. I did cut this out, right, this a little bit through there. This is for a tow hitch, which is here, which I don't plan on using. But I got to looking at this tow hitch. This thing, there's like a little weld there, and one there. That's the whole thing holding this thing on there. But anyway, I'm gonna stiffen that up. That piece I took out, I'm gonna weld back in above it and put a couple gussets in there. But what we're gonna do is, we're gonna take, there it is. We're gonna take this piece here, this 90, hook it to one of these 45s, and we're gonna head it that sucked. Oh, but we got another one. Okay, so what we're gonna do is head it towards that muffler. Right, like that, get it up to here, as far as we can go, because we don't want to get into the body. And we're gonna head it to that muffler over there. Yeah, to that muffler. Peeking out there, and then we'll turn into the muffler. So I'll be back once I get into that disaster. Well, this is where I'm at, right here. We're from there, over there, up around there, on both sides. And we're into the exhaust, to the exhaust. Now, the only other question is, or thoughts I have, is I was gonna turn these down and maybe point them to the side a little bit. Or I don't know if I want to take a 2 1/4 hole saw and drill a round hole right there and there and run them out there, but that's going to weaken my heavy duty bumper quite a bit. I think I might just turn them down. Yeah, I'm going to put a hanger here, a hanger down here, even though I got this already on here. I got to put a hanger here somewhere right there. Well, ain't gonna bore you with any more of this exhaust stuff, but there it is from the front all the way to the back, up and over and out. Same on that side, down, it goes that way. Thanks for watching the video.